Exterior angle theorem. So far we've been looking at the interior part of the triangle and its angles, and now we're going to look at the exterior, which is the outside angle. So this is what we've been looking at, and this is the image you're going to see now. If you notice, we now have the interior angles of the triangle, but then we also have the exterior angle because it's on the outside. So please draw and label your picture, and then we're going to talk about a proof that we could do to show that the exterior angle theorem is correct. What the exterior angle theorem says is that an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. So please highlight or underline the pink words that I have up here because those are the important parts of your definition. And what we're going to look at is, we know we have the exterior angle, and it says it's equal to the sum, which means addition, to the opposite interior. So here is our exterior. We're going to go inside the triangle to the interior angles, and we're going to look at the opposite ones. So we're not looking at this angle right here because it's adjacent or next to the exterior angle. We're going to look at angles 1 and angles 2, and because it says sum, we're going to add them together. So this is what your equation is going to look like when you start to solve the problems today. Now we're going to look at the proof. We're not going to do it in class today, but if you were to tear off angle 1 and tear off angle 2, you could glue them and they would take up the entire space of the exterior angle. So that would be your proof. Now let's do example 1. Please write the directions and draw the picture, and then I'm going to show you a strategy to help you set up. First thing we're going to do is determine what our answer should be. And because it says find the exterior angle, that's this angle right here, which is on the outside. So let's draw a box so we know what our answer should be. And we can fill in the answer to what x equals, because x is labeled as our exterior angle. Now we're going to think about the exterior angle theorem, where it says add the opposite angles. And the opposite angles in this case are 35, so we're going to add 95. So this is a strategy to help you to set up your equation. So circle the opposite angles, and then they equal, so I'm going to draw an arrow to the exterior angle. So this arrow stands for equals. So then you should write your equation, 35 plus 95 equals x. And this is a basic equation for you to solve. So go ahead and try to do it on your own. When you add 35 plus 95, you do get 130 degrees. That equals x. So now we can go over to our picture and fill in the box, because our final answer is x equals 130 degrees. Here's example 2. You don't have to write any directions because they're the same as example 1. We're going to find the exterior angle. So I'm going to give you time to copy the picture and label it. Just like before, we're looking for our exterior angle, which is right here. So if I cover that up and I look at the opposite angles, I can do my circle plus circle arrow to help me set up my equation. Let's go ahead and put a box next to the exterior angle so that we can know where our answer needs to go. By doing the circle plus circle arrow, circle plus circle arrow, it helps me to determine what my equation should be. So I have 25 plus 4x plus 2 equals 7 plus 6x. Go ahead and solve this equation and get your answer for what x equals. Let's start by combining like terms, and I notice that I have a whole number and another whole number, so I can combine those. 25 plus 2 would be 27. So I can bring down the 4x plus 27, bring down the equals, and the 7 plus 6x. Now, if this confuses you, because there's two terms on each side, cover up the second side. Cover up with your hand the 7 plus 6x. Because then the first part, the 4x plus 27, will look like a regular two-step equation that you should know how to solve already. And if you do that, you should automatically think, I'm going to subtract 27 from both sides. And make sure you subtract 27 on the second side from the 7 and not the 6x, because they're friends, and that will cancel. Then you will have 4x equals, and if you make a T-chart, 7 minus 27 is negative 20. Bring down the plus 6x. Now we have one term on the first side, two terms on the second side. So the second side is the one we're going to look for a friend around town on the other side. So because I have 4x on the other side, I know the only option that I can bring over is the plus 6x. To move plus 6x, I should subtract 6x. Draw a line and cancel. 4x minus 6x, if I make a T-chart, I know it's going to be negative and I'm subtracting the numbers, so negative 2x equals negative 20. Now that I have one term on each side, that's when I can multiply or divide. And because I have negative 2 times x, that means I'm going to divide both sides. Divide, divide. And I have to get rid of everything that's with the x, which means I'm dividing both sides by negative 2. And cancel. So x equals positive 10. And I'm not finished yet because I don't have an answer for this box right here. So I have to use that 10 and substitute it into my expression and figure out what that angle measurement would be. When you substitute into 7 plus 6x, you would have 7 plus 6 times 10, and because order of operations tells us to multiply first, we would have 7 plus 60, which is 67, and 67 degrees would be our answer for the exterior angle measurement. Let's look at example 3. Again, we're still trying to find the angle on the outside, so please draw the image, label it, and I would like to see if you can solve the entire problem by yourself. Let's first put a box where we know we have to put our answer, which is going to be right there because we need to know what that external angle is going to be. So we're going to do circle plus circle equals, and we can write our equation. So our equation would be 30 plus 10x minus 10 equals 12x minus 4. First thing, combine like terms. You have 30 and minus 10. So if I have 30 minus 10, that gives me 20. So my next step will be 10x plus 20 equals 12x minus 4. Now we have two terms on either side. Cover up the 12x minus 4, and you should see the beginning of a basic two-step equation. And I automatically want a minus 20 from both sides. Then I have 10x equals 12x minus, because negative 4 minus 20 on a T-chart, they'd both be on the negative side. So you'll add them together, and it would be a negative, so I put minus 24. I have one term on the first side, two terms on the second side, so I'm going to look at the second side. Which one of those has a friend on the other side around town? it would be the 12x. So I would subtract 12x from both sides, draw a line and cancel. If I make a t-chart, 10x minus 12x, I would get negative 2x, bring down the equal sign, and bring down the negative 24. Don't forget about that negative sign. Now I have one term on either side. Now I can multiply or divide. So I see that I have negative 2 times x. So I know I'm going to divide both sides. And I'm divided by negative 2. We can cancel. And if I have two negatives in division, I would get a positive. So x equals positive 12. I'm not finished yet because now I have to substitute 12 in place of x to find my exterior angle measurement. So let's substitute x equals 12. Let's substitute it into our exterior angle, which is right here. So I have 12 times 12 minus 4. I know that 12 times 12 is 144. If I subtract 4 from that, I get 140 degrees, and that would be my final answer for example 3. Let's do example 4. This is the last one we're going to do. And this one, you do need to write the directions because they are different. What is the measurement of the missing angle? So draw the picture, and we're going to set this up exactly the way we've been doing. Circle plus circle, arrow. Go ahead and get your problem set up. Just because we have a different x to find doesn't mean we can't use the exterior angle theorem. So let's put a box where we know we're going to have our answer because that's the only angle we are missing, and it's the only one labeled. So just like before, circle plus circle equals. So I'm going to set up my equation. 45 plus x equals, line down the equal sign, minus 45 minus 45. And your final answer would be x equals 95. Put it in place of in your box so that you can see that is the final answer. And you have finished. That is the exterior angle theorem.